Imagine your jaw breaking off in your hand. You're 17, covered in glowing paint. At night, you look like an angel. Radiant cheeks, luminous lips, shining teeth. You think you're the picture of health. But you're dying, and no one will tell you why. This isn't just one girl, or 10. It's hundreds, maybe thousands. Poor working-class women, teenagers mostly, painted with poison every day. Told it was safe. Encouraged to lip-point their brushes, swallow it, smile with it, decorate themselves with it. And when their teeth fell out, their spines crumbled, their jaws dissolved, the companies that paid them denied everything. This is the story of how America's obsession with glowing paint created a silent epidemic, and how a group of dying women fought Goliath and changed labor rights forever. Radium was the miracle of the 20th century. Discovered by Marie and Pierre Curie in 1898, it glowed like bottled starlight. It could supposedly cure cancer, boost energy, whiten teeth, and even prolong life. So when factories began using it to paint watch dials, especially for soldiers in World War I trenches, no one questioned it. In 1917, the United States Radium Corporation opened a factory in New Jersey. It hired young women to paint dials with a radium-infused paint. The girls were told, "It's harmless, even good for you." They were instructed to lip point, twirl their paint brushes with their lips for precision, hundreds of times a day. No gloves, no masks, no warnings. At first, it was a dream job. The girls made good money, a rare thing for women then, and they sparkled, literally. They became known as the Ghost Girls, because when they walked home at night, they glowed. Hair, dresses, skin radiant from the radioactive dust. They painted their nails with it, their lips, their teeth. They laughed about it. Why wouldn't they? Their bosses told them it was safe, even fashionable. But then the sicknesses began. Teeth ached and fell out. Gums bled. Jaws developed abscesses, until, in some cases, they shattered completely. The girls were rotting alive. The first major death was Molly Maggia in 1922. She was just 24. Her jaw disintegrated. Doctors pulled teeth, and her entire lower face came with them. Her death certificate? It said syphilis, a convenient lie, and the first of many. By 1924, dozens more women had died. Still, the company denied any wrongdoing. Meanwhile, executives at United States Radium Corporation handled radium with tongs and wore protective gear. They knew, but they told the girls it was safe. In court records, one woman later testified, "They told us it was good for our health." Imagine standing in a courtroom, your spine collapsing from the inside out, your bones riddled with holes, your breath smelling like decay. You're 23, you once glowed, now you can barely sit up straight. That was the reality for women like Grace Fryer, one of the first to take legal action. But even getting to court was nearly impossible. Why? Because they were dying too fast. The statute of limitations? 2 years. Most women didn't show symptoms until 4 or 5 years after exposure. By then, they were too sick to sue. The system wasn't built for the dying. And here's the twist. The companies already knew the paint was deadly. Internal memos, later exposed, showed that scientists warned management of radium's dangers years before the first deaths. Executives ignored them. Even worse, they ran smear campaigns, accused the women of promiscuity, labeled them unreliable, unhygienic, even delusional. They weren't just being poisoned, they were being gaslit. In 1927, 5 women, Grace Fryer, Edna Hussman, Catherine Schaub, Quinta MacDonald, and Albina Laracy, sued United States Radium. They became known as the Radium Girls. Bedridden, Wrapped in bandages, with decaying bones, they took on one of the most powerful corporations in America. Their lawyer, Raymond Berry, worked pro bono. He knew he might never get paid, because his clients might not live to see the end of the trial. And the trial was brutal. Doctors testified to the girls' pain. Company lawyers accused them of lying. Reporters swarmed the court. The girls whispered their testimonies from stretchers. The case was settled out of court. Each woman received $10,000, about $170,000 today, a $600 annual pension, and all medical expenses paid. It wasn't enough, but it was a beginning. The Radium Girls didn't just win money, they changed the world. If this story moved you, subscribe to History We Trust. We tell the stories they don't teach in school.